activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, JERMAIN BOTSIO.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, JERMAIN BOTSIO. And on today's show, as you guys know, I got the one, the only Anthony Allen, liberal demon slayer from the South. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic. Today's weather was rather nice. But what's even nicer is what's happening out there in the political world. We need to stay focused. These crazy liberals, they're going to do the rope-a-dope. That's what they hope to do. They're going to rope-a-dope inflation, rope-a-dope war, rope-a-dope the border. And we just have to stay focused and do not form a circular firing squad, but keep our aim on the liberals, on the Democrats.
Absolutely. You can see right now, Anthony Allen, that the liberals are coming up with all sorts of crazy stories to get the heat off them, especially the Biden administration. You know, Biden want to speak about Russia, while we got crime through the roof in this country. We got inflation through the roof. I mean, people are crying over these gas prices, Anthony Allen. And
Yes.
Not to top it off, the mandates that are crippling a lot of businesses still. You get what I'm saying? To the point where on the 23rd, there's going to be a new protest, right? Protest to D.C. filled with California truckers. So
Yes.
There's a whole bunch of stuff happen here domestically that the liberals don't want to talk about. But in reality, Anthony Allen, me and you both know they are the cause of a lot of this dismay.
Absolutely. Democrats and liberals, they have a way of actually, working against the very problems they cause.
You ain't lying about that.
That's where they roll. They know how to go against, and they behave as if what they're doing, they did not cause. And that could be confusing to neophytes, people new to the political scene, people who are just coming on board. You and I have been doing this for a long time. So we know those tricks liberals pull, and we have to stick together. You're right. We have a crisis on our southern border, and everybody wants to turn our attention to Ukraine. Like you said, my friend, we have crime everywhere, crazy stuff happening, and we want to pretend as if it's not happening, and go across the world somewhere to take care of business there. No, we can't do that. Take care of home first.
That's exactly what we got to do, is take care of home first. That is the only way. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. The Facebook stream is back on. As you guys know, we're getting a lot of censorship. Facebook likes to block a lot of our videos that go out, mainly because we're one of the last few pages that still stream here on Facebook. They've done a very good job in trying to deplete our numbers and keep folks away, but people still find us, which is quite amazing. So we need your help here. Without you guys, let me tell you something, it's a hard task. So please, oh please, do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right? Make sure you share, because that is the only way we can get the word out. All right? Absolutely. We are on Rumble right now. Let me go ahead and drop the link for Rumble as well. You guys can go hang out on Rumble as well. We're live on there, just in case we run into some issue on here again. And we are also on Facebook. Absolutely. No, we're also on YouTube. So let me go ahead and drop that YouTube link as well before we begin. Brother, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. How about yourself?
Yeah, drop that YouTube link for me.
I got it right here. Dropping it. 3, 2, 1. It's dropped.
All right, I can go there and check it out.
Absolutely, ladies.
Yeah, so I am.
Go ahead.
I am 100% ready to rock and roll. Anytime you get ready to go, brother, I'm with you all the way.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, first one up. We about to speak about a horrific murder that happened in Pennsylvania. An Uber driver and mother of 4 pleaded for her life before being shot in the head. Let me tell you, the suspect is arrested. 22-year-old black male. I want to go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to speak about this. Make sure you guys do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right? You see all the work we're going through here. Technical issues. Gosh darn it. Censorship issues. Help us out. Here we go.
Just over a week ago, friends and family reported Christy Spicuzza missing. Her car that she used to drive for Uber was found in Pitcairn with her things still in it, but no trace of her.
Last Saturday, a body was found in a wooded area in Monroeville. The remains were identified as Spicuzza. Police say she'd been shot to death.
And then last night, police arrested a suspect, 22-year-old Calvin Crew of Penn Hills. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Ken Rice.
And I'm Kim Gable. Detectives call the crime a random killing.
Police believe that Spicuzza's dash camera captured the moment an Uber passenger in the back seat pressed a gun to her head.
KDK's Megan Schiller joins us live outside Allegheny County Police Headquarters with the very latest on the arrest and reaction from those who knew the suspect.
It is an unusual case with many twists and turns, but detectives believe that they have their guy. They used technology and data like cell phone tracking and rider information from Uber, and they say that that led them directly to the suspect and to a key piece of evidence. A 22-year-old man's in jail after police say he ended his Uber ride with a gun pressed to his driver's head.
It is unusual. Thankfully, it doesn't happen that often. More times than not, there is a relationship between the actor and the victim.
But detectives say 22-year-old Calvin Crew didn't know his Uber driver, 38-year-old Christy Spicuzza, a mother of 4 from Turtle Creek. And police say when his attempts to steal her money didn't work, He robbed her of her life.
An Amazon driver driving down in a van, had a little bit of elevation to it, just driving down that roadway, saw the body off to the side. It was approximately 40 feet, I believe, off the roadway.
Allegheny County detectives on the case think crew killed Spikuza late last Thursday night. Her family reported her missing Friday morning. By last Saturday, detectives had found her car parked in Pitcairn with her dash camera missing. A few hours later, detectives located her body in these woods. Police tracked Spikuza's final Uber passenger to an account owned by Tanaya Mullen, crew's girlfriend.
I have other tenants in there, and they're all females. So, I'm scared for their safety. I told them to lock their door so they catch the culprit. Didn't come to find out it was my tenant's boyfriend, so that's like a double shocker. Come on.
Mullen's landlord, Bruce Smith, tells me he's shocked and can't get a hold of Mullen.
I've been calling her contact numbers, her numbers. It seems like it's going to the answer service. She's basically MIA.
We asked detectives if she could face any charges stemming from this killing.
We are continuing the investigation, and we are in consultation with the district attorney's office about any additional charges that may be filed against any other people in this case.
Uber tells me that Mullen will be held responsible for crew's actions, at least when it comes to the platform. Uber has banned both Mullen and crew from using the app and taking any rides going forward. Uber also says when it comes to rider safety in the Pittsburgh area, they want riders to explore the option of using that emergency button, which immediately sends all of the driver and ride information to local police. Reporting live outside Allegheny County Police Headquarters in Green Tree tonight, Megan Schiller, KDK News.
What a horrible case here. Mother of 4 pleaded for her life. All she was doing was trying to make a buck in this crazy economy. Anthony Allen, 22-year-old black male. Once more again, these black males, and I guarantee you he was raised by his mama, has squiggles in his hair, Anthony Allen, right? Squiggle locks out there ready to do harm. These individuals are animals. What do you think about this crazy case here? White woman begged for her life. She was killed and tossed away like a bad Isha. What do you think?
Yeah, people should never, ever feel that they are racist because they feel uncomfortable with a person that looks like this thug. He has that gangster look, and he would give me the creeps also. Yep. And I am sure that she picked him up from the ghetto. The brutality of what happened, it goes without saying. Now, this isn't the only case in which a white woman begged for her life. You and I talked about the situation where these creeps hunted down and ran down this woman in the hotel. Okay, she was a police officer. They shot her, and then they ran her down in the hotel, and she laid there on the floor begging for her life. And of course, the monster during that time shot her and killed her also. So this is the monster mentality of these black males that have squigglies in their hair, and they look like creepy people, and they should not be picked up. They should not be dealt with, but they are dealt with. Never feel as if because someone creeps you out and you don't want to be racist, you need to save your life, because these people, they have no soul. This guy didn't have to do that, but he did it anyway. And what gets me is that I sense that they enjoy having someone beg for their life before they murder them in cold blood. That's how creepy and dangerous these people are. They enjoy watching someone beg, and then they kill them.
You ain't lying about that. They get a sense of power over it. And it's usually because they never had control or power in their life that they perceived. So they usually do this. It's psychological affair with these folks. This is just absolutely awful. It is. Anthony Allen, where are the marches? Where are they at?
Yeah, that concerns me too. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where's Antifa?
There you go.
And in fact, where are the conservatives? Saying, look at this.
There you go.
Once again, and they had this no bail bond now, where these murderers can actually walk. They can
absolutely
commit kind of horrendous crime, and they're out the next day. They just sleep overnight, get a good dinner and get some breakfast, and then they're back on the street doing the dirt once again. So this is of concern also. Will this guy be kept under the jail? That's what he deserves, to be kept under the jail. And so the Biden administration, they have allowed these no bail bailouts, and people, Hollywood, they're putting up bail for these monsters. And this is a young lady doing her best with her 4 children, beg for her life. This monster didn't walk away, but enjoyed watching her beg. But you're right. They don't have a sense of power, never had a sense of power. They probably got beat up by their mother and their father, and now they want to exert their power on an innocent person.
There you go. It is such an evil act, let me tell you. This white woman here, beautiful, trying to take care of her family. You wouldn't think that, being an Uber driver would be that bad, but being around black folks, yeah, it's that bad. In Philadelphia, picked up an idiot, and now she's dead. Now, Anthony Allen, they're looking at the guy's girlfriend. The guy's girlfriend is nowhere to be seen. I believe she should be charged as well. They got the guy. They need to get the girlfriend as well, because I'm pretty sure she knew what happened, with this woman as well, because it was on her account. So I think she should be liable as well. She didn't tell anybody. They can't find her, but they found the guy. So I definitely think the woman, the girlfriend, needs to be charged. And one thing I want to say here, Anthony Allen, as horrific as this case is, you don't see white Americans out there marching, destroying stuff, begging for things to change. You don't see them doing this. And I wish that white Americans would protest just like these black folks do, and bring attention to a lot of these type of criminal situations, these murders, because they happen way too often. And the thing is, black folks live in a world of fantasy, Anthony Allen. They believe that, somehow they are the only folks that get discriminated against. They're somehow being hunted by everybody and their mama because they black. And for some reason, they don't, black folks don't do nothing, right? For some reason, they believe black folks are saints. This is the mainstream notion of black America. But it's a fantasy and it's not true. And if white Americans, I believe, started protesting a lot of these murders across this nation, a lot of the hate crime, ladies and gentlemen, hate crime that is being put on white Americans, you will see a shift in this nation in terms of perception and reality. What do you think about that, sir?
Absolutely, my friend. I've been advocating for a white civil rights movement.
Absolutely.
A white civil rights march on Washington, D.C., where they hold signs and say, I am a man, I am not a racist. And these blacks are going out there now, and with impunity, they can say the most horrific things about white people and do the most horrific things to white people. And you and I have been calling it a war on white people for quite some time. And I think, white people need to stand up. I think that whenever somebody calls them a racist, they need to push back and say, no, I am not a racist. Don't go away somewhere with your tail tucked between your legs. Stand up and tell that person that you are not a racist. You don't even have to have black friends, but that doesn't make you a racist because you don't have black friends. You are not a racist because you are not a racist. The number of friends you have, the places that you go, that doesn't have anything to do with racism. The racism is the fact that these blacks now have a sense of entitlement. And it's payback time. And it all started with the election of Barack Obama. And it's been metastasized by Black Lives Matter and all these other race hustlers like Benjamin Crump. So, you know, the white people are not going out there burning down cities. They mourn and they grieve for the lost. It's only black people that burn down cities. They don't mourn and grieve. They steal, they burn, and they loot whenever they have a problem.
Absolutely. Greg Mayer says that if whites start doing that, they are no better than the other, and it starts a race war. Just handle the situation before it gets any further. Now, what I want to say to that there is that I believe folks been tricked with that type of rhetoric. You have folks who are building a narrative against you. I want white people to wipe the crust from your eyes. I want you to wipe the crust from your eyes. The media has been building a narrative for a very long time. The Democrat Party has been building a narrative for a very long time that white people are evil, racist, discriminatory. Every gosh darn news cycle you can look at got a black person complaining, and they're pointing at either the government, police officials, or some white person out there, some innocent white person. And if this narrative builds over years and generations, just like it has been going, a race war ain't going to start. You're going to be dead before it even starts. Do you understand? You have to fight against a narrative. Generations of white Americans that are under 30 believe that white people are racist. They're being taught this in class. When the hell do you fight the narrative? Because one thing I'm saying here, Anthony Allen, it's not working if you're keeping your mouth shut. Right? It's not working. What, are you relying on black folks like me and Anthony Allen? Because we can't get it done. It's incumbent on you to stand up and bring light to this issue. So if you're going to sit there and say, well, if we do this, you know, we're not going to be any better than the black folk. You got to, there's something going on. You need to bring attention to the things that are happening in your community. That's the way things change. If you're going to be quiet about it, what you do is you're capitulating and kowtowing to the rhetoric. That's what you're doing. And if you're doing that, you should have no qualms about black folks calling you racist and you being mistreated because you're white. All you white men out there, guess what? When you go and try to apply for a job, you one of the last ones to get picked now. How you like that? Right? They're looking for Apu in them. They're looking for a black woman. They're looking for people like your sister before they look for a white man. And it's because white men have been quiet because of this storm. So keep being quiet. You can see what they're doing in the administration. Ain't that right, Anthony Allen? They're looking for blacks and Asians. So this is what happens when white folks are quiet. When white folks are quiet, they're slowly shooed off and kicked off the cliff. Look at South Africa. Anthony, South Africa, perfect example.
Yes, it is.
Whites were quiet right? Oh, you know what? There's racism. You know what the whites are doing now? They're running for their life, being killed in their own farms. Farms being ripped from them. They're being literally chased to the sea. So I want people to wake up with this. Wipe the crust from your eyes, because without standing up and bringing light to this issue, it will never go away. And black folk like me and Anthony Allen can't do it. I'm letting you know. It's incumbent on you. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. Joni Pangarazalo. She put look like a rat. What is this, a raccoon or something? She's gone.
A coon. She called us a coon.
Oh, I think she put like a raccoon emoji.
Yeah, that's
or
a
something.
coon symbol. She calling us a coon.
She calling us a coon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a coon.
She probably ugly as hell. She probably ugly as hell. Yeah, I'm telling you, don't let me go through your pictures and start roasting you. I'm not. We don't even have enough. I wish I had enough time. I go through your pictures and roast you. You're probably ugly as hell. I can tell you're not even using your own photo for your profile. So that's
there you go.
Yeah, that's why I know how ugly you are now. Usually ugly folks do that. Something. They're ugly in their life, and they're ugly everywhere they go. Let's go ahead and move forward. Next one up here, brother. I want to go ahead and speak to you about Kim Potter. All right, former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter. She was sentenced to 16 months in prison. Negroes are mad from here to Pakistan. They wanted blood. Let me go ahead and run it. When I come back, I want to get your take on it. Here we go.
Ms. Potter, will you please rise? Given all these considerations and having carefully considered the comments of the family and of both Dante Wright and the comments of Kimberly Potter, as well as the arguments of counsel, it is the sentence and judgment of this court that you shall be committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 24 months. You shall serve 2/3 of that time, or 16 months in prison, and 1/3 on supervised release, assuming no disciplinary offenses or conditional release violations. You have credit for 58 days already served. Restitution will be reserved. There'll be a fine of $1,000 and a surcharge of $78 to be taken out of prison wages or due within 180 days. You must provide a DNA sample. You may not use or possess any firearms, ammunition, or explosives. You have the right to appeal the conviction and sentence. If you are unable to pay the cost of an appeal, you may apply for leave to appeal at state expense by contacting the state public defender. You may be seated, Ms. Potter. I'd like to make a few parting comments. I recognize there will be those who disagree with this sentence. That I granted a significant downward departure does not in any way diminish Dante Wright's life. His life mattered. And to those who disagree and feel a longer prison sentence is appropriate, as difficult as it may be, please try to empathize with Ms. Potter's situation. As President Barack Obama once said,
No, and that's why this judge is talking so gosh darn slow, so damn slow, Anthony Allen. You know, the first sentence this judge said, literally, I thought, you know, we skipped 5 years ahead. I mean, the way that she slowed it down here, and then she's bringing up a quote from Barack Obama. OMG, let me tell you, OMG. So she got sentenced to 16 months. I believe it was a just sentence. All right. When I said this the other day, I mean, you wouldn't believe how many folks were mad at me. I don't even think, you know, with all the censorship, you know, that many folks were listening. Let me tell you, they were listening. They were mad that I said that it was a just sentence. Anthony Allen, this woman here, she spent most of her adult life serving the community. She wasn't out there ripping and running and thugging. She was doing a public service. That has to count for something. And I know Negroes out there, they're so angry and mad, Anthony Allen, about it. What do you think about this? Do you think that her service all these years outweigh this, you know, this horrible accident? I mean, what do you think about it? And this guy here, you know, Dante Wright, he's a blood gang member. He lived most of his life ripping and running and thugging. I mean, why can't we look at the totality of both folks?
Absolutely. Kim Potter did not mean to and did not purposely kill Dante Wright. And throughout the trial, Kim Potter never had a dry eye. She cried throughout the whole trial. She was always remorseful, and she apologized the best she could to the family for what happened. It reminds me similarly of a case where a police woman walked into the wrong apartment, and she killed both and Jean. Remember that case?
Oh yeah.
It was an accident. She walked into the apartment, killed the guy in his own apartment.
Yep.
And to make a long story
from
short,
Texas too. I remember that case. Yep.
The man's brother said that he did not want Kim to rot in jail.
Yep.
That he loved Kim. He asked the judge, could he give Kim a hug?
Yep.
And he walked down off of that stage, and he walked over to her, met her in the middle, and they hugged for a good little while, crying and hugging, forgiveness. Kim, her name was Amber Geiger.
Amber Geiger, absolutely.
Yes, she got 10 years for a horrible accident. The judge was a black female. She got 10 years from a black female judge.
Yep.
She got a hug and she got forgiveness by Botham's brother. Kim Potter got 2 years from an Asian female judge. Riots in the streets, unforgiveness. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are rioting and protesting. What a juxtaposition. I mean, what a connection there.
I know.
A juxtaposition there is what I was saying. What a juxtaposition that, one accident gets 16 months, the other one gets 10 years. The 10 years get forgiveness and a hug, and the 2 years just gets riots. But what we're dealing with is the fact that, when will people, as horrible as this is, they are trying to foment violence in this situation. this 10, she got 2 years for an accident, and they're rioting and they're looting. And I just heard someone was killed in out west doing riots about this situation. How horrible can this get? There were no rioting for Amber Geyer. She got forgiveness, but now we have people will not move on. They just won't move on.
There were no riots, but let me tell you something. They were mad as hell at that black boy for giving her a hug. You remember that,
Yes,
right?
they were. Yes.
You spoke about the racism of black folks in the community based upon that. He used forgiveness, and forgiveness set him and his family free. But the black folks there were upset about it. And a lot of the reason why they were upset, Anthony Allen, is because they hate white people.
Yes.
They hate white people with a passion. And the fact that a black man, a black person decided to say, you know what, I don't have this same hate that you guys have, and decided to use compassion, love, forgiveness, and they absolutely hated it. They did.
Yes.
They roasted that black boy from here to Pakistan. They were saying that is because his family was from the Caribbean. That's why they were into forgiveness, and they didn't know about black people's pain and struggle. They were going all sorts of dumb stuff.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you something. This case here, Anthony Allen, was a just, sentence. 16 months. She'll probably get out in 9. She's credited already with 56 days. She will get out. She will definitely get out in less than a year. I want folks to understand that. She definitely will. And her life, in my opinion, shouldn't be determined by this mistake. She lived most of her life doing the right thing, helping the people in her community. And I know that's hurtful to hear for people who got hate in their heart. But that's what she was doing compared to somebody who lived their life robbing folks, beating on folks, not doing the right thing.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Anthony Allen. So just the mere fact of Dante Wright being black, that's all they care about.
Yes.
Is the catalyst to making sure that she never sees the day of light again. And I think that's absolutely wrong. That should show folks that that is real hate. It has nothing to do with anything else except for the pure hatred of white Americans and the police in our country. Last words here, sir.
You know what? That was well said, Jermaine BOTSIO, because there's this narrative in the black community that we have to be hateful and angry and unforgiving. And the narrative comes from people who were never slaves. They aren't even black. They never picked cotton. They have good jobs. They're, Army, Navy. They have done all the right things in life, but they still hate white people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in our culture now, in the black culture. And this is what we're seeing. This absolute hatred 24/7, like you mentioned, is all on TV 24/7, the hatred for white people. And when this black man, Bothan's brother, gave Amber Geyer a hug, that's when the hate came out. It's up to that person to forgive. But all these other Negroes, they wanted that person to hate Amber Geyer, and they couldn't stand it. And so we have a situation now where the hate is still there. They hate the fact that I believe, and you believe, and many people believe, that it was a fair sentence for Kim Potter. This woman is completely destroyed by what happened. It was an accident. I never had seen her with dry eyes. Never. Every time I see her, her eyes are puffy. She's crying. She's hurt. She's very, very hurt, and she's remorseful. But you know what? These black folks still hate her. They still are into hate.
They are. You would never please these folks. You would never. That's why I said that black folks have to renew their spirit. Nothing else is going to work. Kowtown to this thing, racism and all that, it's not going to work. They have to have a renewal of the spirit. They have to come back. Love what is right. You get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen?
Absolutely.
That is the only way. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to a beautiful woman by the name of Kristen Walker. Kristen Walker donated. Shout out to you. Took our charity on Cash App. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? Make sure you do. Next one up here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to speak about Mayor Eric Adams. I spoke about him earlier last week. He made a move that I thought was absolutely crazy. And let me tell you something. I need to get Anthony Allen's take on it. Mayor Eric Adams meets with NYC's famous rappers to discuss crime in NYC. Now, I want you guys to just listen to that type of headline there. Meets with NYC's top rappers to discuss crime in the city. They're not meeting with orchestra players. I want you to understand that. Anthony Allen, are they meeting with rock players, rock bands?
No.
They're not meeting with rock. Holy smokes. How about people in the symphony? No?
Nope.
Country music. I know Garth Brooks and them are meeting with him, right?
Sorry.
No? So you mean to tell me blacks, rappers, they're the source of crime?
The worst kind of rappers, too.
I know. Let's go ahead and run it. When it come back, I want to speak about it because this is very telling. That should let you know how evil rap music is. It's so evil. Here we go.
Mayor Adams met with a group of drill rap artists last night. He's criticized the music genre for contributing to the rising violence in the city.
But as CBS 2's Andrea Klein-Thomas explains, the mayor and the rappers were able to come to an agreement.
There's been a lot of talk about drill rap, drill music, New York City, connecting violence with the culture.
Late Tuesday evening, drill rappers met with Mayor Eric Adams, who's been critical of their music, saying it's causing a spike in violence. But Brooklyn rapper Bleezy says the meeting was productive.
And we got a chance to speak to him as brothers, as we should, and we got a perfect understanding of what's going on.
Drill rap came under renewed scrutiny after 18-year-old artist Jaquan McKinley's murder earlier this month, leading Mayor Adams to call for the music's removal from social media.
Violent people who are using drill rapping to post who they killed and then antagonize the people who they are going to kill is what the problem is.
People look at the videos or listen to the lyrics and stuff, it's going to be characterized as, talking about guns, talking about money, talking about...
But that's just with music, period, every genre.
While Bleezy admits some artists go too far.
If you ain't experienced poverty, you shouldn't even have your opinion on anybody moment.
Bleezy says he focuses on the hardships in Brownsville, adding addressing the real root of violence goes well beyond any lyrics.
The community is like, it's like there's no hope, there's no opportunities. No, we just making music so we could get out of these places.
The meeting with Mayor Adams ended with a handshake. The mayor said that a new initiative in partnership with the rappers will be rolled out in a few days. Andrea Klein-Thomas, CBS 2 News.
And the mayor admits to just learning about the genre of music from his son and said he was happy to speak to the various artists.
Niggas are the worst folks on this side of heaven, Anthony Allen. He says that there's no hope, there's no opportunity. We just trying to rap so that we can make some money and get out. Get a job. What's wrong with Anthony Allen? Blacks don't like to work. I mean, there's so, how can I say, you can only speak about coming from the gutter so many times. Every rapper, every black cockroach that pops up, Anthony Allen, little something, and speaking about how he came from a single mama and how he was drinking sugar water and selling dope. I'm tired, Anthony Allen. They got to get locked up. Mayor Eric Adams surrounded himself with a bunch of thugs, Anthony Allen. A bunch of thugs. And you know what they said? We came to an agreement, Anthony Allen.
Yes.
So instead of Eric Adams to go ahead and make sure he keeps the citizens safe by doing his due diligence, putting people away in jail, cleaning up the streets, he goes and meets with the thugs who are creating a lot of this violence. And Anthony Allen, here's a picture I put on the screen there. As you can see, Eric Adams, he even looked like a thug too. Look at the way he's sitting now. I don't even know who's the mayor, Anthony Allen.
Right. Who's
you get what I'm saying? Guilty by association. The way he's sitting, who the mayor, Anthony Allen? I don't know. You see what I'm talking about, Anthony Allen? So
absolutely,
he has been compromised. He cannot be trusted. What do you think about this here, sir?
Yes, he cannot be trusted. First, I want to give a shout out to the lovely Kristen and the handsome Greg for their donations. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Let's go ahead and get that.
But getting back to the story here, Eric Adams is a liberal. He talks tough, okay? He wants to do away with drill music. He's going to go in there and shut it down. And everybody applauds him. Boy, oh boy, he's getting conservative. You see, us conservatives are winning. And I've been telling people for a long, long time, do not trust these liberals just because they do something or say something conservative, because you can see how he recapitulated. There he is now, allowing these thugs to say that they had a productive meeting and they came to an agreement. There should not have been an agreement. Who's in charge, the mayor or the thugs?
Yeah.
And this drill music, you know, as you define, it is filthy, it is dirty. They talk about murdering somebody. They make fun of someone who they have murdered, and they also antagonize people who they are going to murder next. And this is the type of music that is being played. And this is degenerate music. Not only does it degenerate the black neighborhood, it degenerates everything.
Absolutely.
It touches anyone that listens to this music. So don't be impressed with Eric Adams, because he is a liberal, and liberals will always capitulate to the lowest denomination, the lowest denominators, okay, in our culture. If you have some scientists here talking about the issue, the liberal will say, you guys don't know what you're talking about, because I want to talk to the guys that are thugs. They do it all the time, Jermaine BOTSIO. Eric Adams will not talk about, you know, anyone decent. He talks about the thugs, and he wants to defund the police.
There you go.
How in the world do you talk to these drill thugs and then defund the police? New York is in big trouble.
You ain't lying about that. He sold out completely. He did. Soon as these Negroes got around him, I don't even know if they threatened him, Anthony Allen. You know what I'm saying? They might have said, hey, listen up. I know you said you want to, go ahead and put boots on the ground, but listen, we got dope moving in the streets. You do anything, guess what? We know where you live. We know where your son go to school at. We know everything. And that's the way a lot of these thugs roll. And I want people to look at this one more time here. The main reason why I want people to see this is because I want you guys to see what corruption looks like. Instead of him to ask the people who are being afflicted by all the violence and all the crime, Anthony Allen, hey, what do you think we should do to curb the violence? He goes ahead and asks the thugs who are preaching the violence in their music. And for somehow, some reason, telling a story about robbing and killing and the things you used to do is somehow art form. It blows my mind. Anthony Allen, I got a very simple question here.
Yes, sir.
If there was a music genre out there that spoke about raping children and raping women, how long do you think that genre would take before somebody say, you know what, we need to ban this type of music? It's talk about raping our children and raping our women. Do you think that music would be allowed to be played here in the U.S. or in our society? It's just a simple question.
Yeah, that music would not be allowed, except it is allowed.
There you go. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, how our society has really moved. So this mayor here, I don't even know who the mayor is, Anthony Allen. When I look at this picture, he looked like a thug. You get what? He couldn't even distinguish himself, Anthony Allen, from the thugs. So I want people to understand that this is what you call corruption. New York will be even worse than what you guys are seeing.
Yes.
And I'm letting you know, he's even worse than Lori Lightfoot, Anthony Allen. I don't even think you could get worse than her. You know, this man criticized, Anthony Allen, reporters, saying that there wasn't enough diversity in the reporting folks there. Did you know he said the exact same thing?
Oh, yeah.
He's an evil man. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Greg Roan. Our guy, Greg Roan. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up here, brother. I want to go ahead here. And let me pull this up here. Bow. I want to speak about former DNC chair Donna Brazile. We ain't spoke about Ms. Brazile for a very long time. You know, one thing I could say about Donna Brazile, I haven't seen her wear a hair hat. That's the only good thing I could really say about her. You know, besides her, lying, trying to give Hillary Clinton answers to a lot of the interview. Remember the debate? She was giving answers, this and that. These people are evil, folks. Evil. She got caught up And then Fox News hired her.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you, oh my goodness. Let me run this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Former DNC chair Donna Brazile roasts the Biden administration, gives a devastating assessment. Take a look.
Just over a week away from his State of the Union address, he faces the very real possibility of going into that speech against the backdrop of a war in Europe, economic anxiety at home, and a clear, decisive majority disapproving or unhappy with his performance as president. How does he turn it around?
Well, first of all, tone matters. And I think what the president should do is talk to the American people, just like you and I are sitting here talking. You and I have had, we've broken bread. Talk to the American people. They want to know about the challenges that we're facing. They want to hear what he's doing. I mean, inflation is robbing us of our joy, stealing our hard-earned wages. I can't go to the grocery store without complaining about the price of eggs and bacon. I mean, a pound of bacon is almost $9. Jesus. I mean, that's it for me and bacon. I never thought I would give it up. But the point is that he has to talk about COVID. Yeah, we're tired of COVID, but COVID is not tired of us. He has to talk about crime. We don't want to, have a country that people running around with guns. But at the same time,
So Donna Brazile, she's trying to give pointers to the Biden administration on, what he needs to do to try to change this around, try to, bring the morale up around the country, Anthony Allen. And she's saying that he needs to speak about what's going on in the economy, right? He needs to speak about inflation. He needs to speak about crime. He needs to basically, gosh darn it, do his job. That's basically what she's saying. What do you think about this?
Donna Brazile, whenever she speaks like that, there is nothing for any Republican and nothing for any conservative in what she's talking about. Because all she is really doing is supporting the Joe Biden administration. She's not criticizing it in a sense. In fact, she's really advocating. She's backhandedly supporting his policies. She's doing it kind of like in reverse because she says, Joe Biden should have a conversation with the American people. Joe Biden is having a conversation with the American people. And conversation with the American people means shut up, okay? Go away, sit down because everything stays the same, okay? That's what Joe Biden has been doing with inflation, the border, the Russia things, the crime. He's having a conversation with us. He's going to have a conversation during the State of the Union. And guess what? Everything stays the same. So Donna Brazile, in her backward handling of this idea, is really supporting Joe Biden because she said we can't have crime and all these guns. Well, that's gun control.
Yeah, that's gun control.
Okay, so she's really supporting his policies. Now, keep in mind that we have to be very, very careful because Donna Brazile is a cheater. And whenever Donna Brazile says something that sounds like it's okay, sounds like it's going against the grain, that's what people like Van Jones do. That's what people like Bill Maher do and Snoop Dogg. Whenever they get in trouble, they roll someone out there that sounds almost conservative. But these people like Donna Brazile, Snoop Dogg, Van Jones, and Bill Maher will always stab you in the back and will always resort back to their liberalism because Donna Brazile, she is one of the reasons that we're in this situation in our country because she was the head of the Democrat Party. She was a head, okay? So she is part of the problem. She's not going back. She's supporting Joe Biden's policies full bore.
Absolutely, and trying to give him some quote unquote play on what he needs to do. Joe Biden is in some serious doo-doo. There's a lot of progressives out there like Hillary Clinton who are chopping at him right now, saying how bad the administration is doing. Now, I was having a conversation the other day with somebody, and we were speaking about, would we rather have Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden? Which one would, be doing a lot worse at this time? And I think Joe Biden would. I think Hillary Clinton, I don't know. I think maybe she'll be a little bit more competent. I know she's an evil woman, evil to the core. But, Joe Biden, gosh darn it, we know he's evil, but he's being played by somebody in the background. I don't know who's in the background. At least I know when Hillary Clinton speaks, I know she's a hold of most of her faculties, and I can blame her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Anthony Allen? When Joe Biden speaks, we know most of the time ain't nobody home. So there's somebody else there, moving his lips and running his mouth. So just a little food for thought there. Donna Brazile, just like you said, she's a cheater. She's not a very good woman in terms of truth and putting out what we call the real deal information. She's not at all. Donna Brazile is what we call a political hack in all sorts of the term in the word. All right, there's political hacks out there who are paid to do that. Okay, they're paid to make dumb statements like that. They're paid to, give that, how can I say, on the border, on the fence type of positions, because they need certain key people, certain key areas to move in the way that they want to. And when they have certain folks, especially like Donna Brazile, and believe it or not, if in the realm of the political sphere, Donna Brazile in the liberal arena still has a lot of pull, okay, because of her position that she once had. I want folks to understand that. That's why she's being brought up as a quote-unquote a Democratic specialist and this and that and this and that. All that means is that she's ready to give you a finesse game and give you a very bad image. Last words here, sir.
Yeah, you said it right. She's very, very good at finesse. And when you listen to what she was saying, it was the ultimate finesse. She's not going to go against Joe Biden. She's going to be on the fence, and it's going to sound like she's saying one thing, but she really is talking about something else. Donna Brazile, she was a campaign manager for Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely.
So she has a lot of pull. She is no lightweight. And so whenever she speaks, I listen to her carefully because she's laying it down. She may be finessing it, but she's not going to go against the Democrat principles and ideas. She is on their side 100%. So do not trust Donna Brazile. Do not trust Van Jones. Do not trust Bill Maher. And please don't trust Snoop Dogg either.
Conservatives are on Bill Maher's nuts right now. Bill Maher ain't woke up to nothing.
Right.
He ain't woke up to nothing. He's still saying dumb stuff right and left. All of a sudden, he says some stuff that perk your ears. Oh, my gosh. Bill Maher is on our side. Screw Bill Maher. Pretty soon, you're going to be mad at him the next day. Trust me.
Yes.
Somebody like him who put out a movie called Religious List. And then he made fun of Christians and people who believe in God and Jesus. I mean, Anthony Allen, you can't get more satanic than that.
Right.
Literally, go look up the movie. Religious List. He go through and mock God in the movie. Screw Bill Maher. I want to go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Leanne Glass. Leanne Glass donated, took a $5 challenge, says, I challenge 10 more to match me. Shout out to Leanne Glass. Leanne Glass, part of the Jerome Glass family bunch. I believe they're on YouTube right now. Shout out to Leanne Glass. Leanne Glass. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up. I want to go ahead here, brother, and speak about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz gave an awesome assessment speaking about the Durham filing. Liberals are saying that this is nothing. They're downplaying it. Hillary Clinton came out, and you know what she said? It's a fake scandal. This is what she said. People should be more worried about Trump trying to overturn the election and ruining our democracy. This is what she's saying. Than us speaking and warning about the way she tried to ruin our democracy. I want people to understand she's a very evil woman. I want to go ahead and run what Ted Cruz is saying here. He says that the Durham filing is a true filing. And he says it's a lot bigger than Watergate. Take a look.
But I'll tell you, the allegations, what Durham filed in a filing in federal court is deeply concerning. What Durham alleged as a federal prosecutor, as a special prosecutor, is that a lawyer for the Hillary Clinton campaign conspired with a big tech executive to monitor and spy on Donald Trump, to spy on him at his home, to spy on him at his office, and indeed they were spying on the White House itself. They were spying on a sitting president. That is, you know, you and I both remember when President Trump said the Democrats are spying on me. And the corporate media collectively laughed at him. They mocked at him. They said, what a ridiculous claim for him to make. Well, if what Special Counsel Durham is alleging is true, that what Donald Trump said was absolutely right. And to the extent Hillary Clinton is complicit with this, her campaign is complicit with it, her lawyers are complicit with it, big tech is complicit with it. If this is true, it's a lot bigger than Watergate. That was a bungled third-rate burglary. It was wrong. People went to jail for Watergate, and people need to go to jail for this if these allegations are true.
He says people need to go to jail if this is true. Anthony Allen, it is true.
Yes.
It is true. I want folks to understand. And I believe people should go to jail. Now, there's a lot of folks, legal analysts, that are stepping out of the woodworks right now. And they're saying that there is a statute of limitation on this. And the statute of limitation is 5 years. So they're thinking that even if something was to come up about this, they would be reaching that statute of limitation. What do you think about that? And what do you think about the filing itself? Do you think that it will get to Hillary? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the statute of limitations yet. I'm sure that you have. You've been talking about that, so I'll trust you on that also. But when it comes down to this filing, yes, they did spy on Trump, and the mechanism for spying was a cyber attack, better known as the man-in-the-middle cyber attack. The man-in-the-middle attack, you strategically locate resources between the server and the domain name service. That way you can look at incoming and outgoing packets from the server. You get the first look at it, and you can just, divert that data down to someplace else. They diverted it down to Georgia Tech, where they can archive it and look at it and study it before they send it on its way or send it back into the server. Now, of course, we computer aficionados, we heard Trump say they wiretapped me, but all of us knew that it was a cyber attack. That was just his way of articulating what happened. They were spying on him. Now, this cyber attack, known as the Man in the Middle, it is the linchpin that allowed Hillary Clinton to spy on Trump, to spy on candidate Trump. Okay. Now, after he spied on candidate Trump, when he won the election, the Man in the Middle cyber attack allowed President Obama to spy on President Trump.
Yep.
Now, what happens is once Hillary goes away and Obama go away, the spying takes place by the deep state, the FBI and the CIA. Okay, so they don't have to be there for the spying to continue. Now, what is very, very disturbing, not only did Obama spy on President Trump, but what is disturbing is that the most secure server in the world, okay, this is the White House server, the most secure building, the most secure server, someone on the inside had to give the security credentials to these players that allowed them to be the man in the middle to watch all that data going to and from that server. So this is big. This is way bigger than Watergate. This is sedition. This is the overthrow of America. And I'm going to tell you, and you know this to be a fact also, America has already been overthrown. That's what was accomplished with the Man in the Middle attack. They were able to get rid of Trump, the legitimate president, okay, of the United States, by using the Man in the Middle attack. So who should go to jail? Hillary Clinton should go to jail. And guess what? Barack Obama.
Absolutely.
He should go to jail too.
Absolutely, because Barack Obama was spying on Trump before he even left the White House.
That's right.
So
he initiated the spying in the White House through the FBI and the CIA and the intelligence apparatus within the White House. He initiated that, and then he left, and it still goes on. He doesn't have to be there for it to continue.
That's right. He doesn't have to be there. He just has his players already set up in there to be doing his dirty work. That's it. They have a club. I call it a cult. The Democrat Party, the crime syndicate, it's a cult. That's why I said that no matter who's in charge of the country, it's hard to get a lot of things done because we have career politicians who aren't even elected by us. I don't think a lot of people understand that. That's why Trump had a hard time getting a lot of things done himself, because the people that were in office, a lot of them were, holdovers, Obama holdovers, people who were put in the position by Obama. I want folks to understand, and a lot of these unelected positions, they're not even put in by the president. I want people to understand this is the main reason why our country's messed up. Because no matter who we put in, they have to deal with, quote unquote, the deep state. People who are unelected, put in these positions to make certain key moves and transitions so that they can move the ball forward in the vision of the cult. Do you understand? So they don't really care who gets the president's seat, in a sense, because the president can only do so much. And as you guys can see, he can only do so much. And to tell you the truth, if you want to be honest, the Fed chief even it reigns over the president. When the Fed chief says something, the president follows. Ain't that right, Anthony Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fed chief might as well be the president. The person who controls the purse is the ruler, Anthony Allen. Let's be honest about that. Ain't that right?
Amen.
So while people are worried about the president, the Fed chief, that's who running it. When he talk about quantitative easing and everything, the Fed chief He on his own island. That's how dangerous it is. Last words here, sir.
Yeah, this is something that we have to be very, very careful about. We have to look at this, with the eyes of the fact that our country has been taken over. This is a soft coup.
Yep,
it
is.
And people don't realize that the man-in-the-middle cyber attack was the catalyst for the soft coup. Okay, and so we have been overthrown softly, gently, a nice landing, no bombs, no missiles, and that's the difference between a cyber attack and a traditional attack. The cyber attack can overthrow a government, and other people say, "What just happened?" What just happened was they overthrew our government, and I believe that. And so this is sedition. Obama should be going to jail. Hillary should be going to jail, and they should end up in Gitmo. There's no place on this continental United States for a former president and a former Secretary of State except Gitmo.
Absolutely.
That's what they should be. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen, but I tell you what, John Durham's report is devastating. This is 1,000 times bigger than Watergate.
1,000 times, and the media is trying to downplay it. That's what they're trying to do, because they're a part of the cult. They are. Ridiculous, and it's a concerted effort, too. It is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Last but not least, Anthony, I want to speak about Ukrainian President Zelensky. I've been saying for the past, probably the past 2 or 3 weeks regarding this Russian-Ukraine, ordeal. I believe it's a distraction. There's so many things that are going wrong in our country that the media right now is trying to take people's eyes off the ball to speak about Ukraine and their border. How retarded does the media think we are? We can't even control our border. Our border patrols are being shot at by the cartel members. Drugs are pouring through the border. Human trafficking through the yin yang. Crime, inflation, transportation issues. The list goes on and on. But yet most of the media is running their mouth about Ukraine. The Ukrainian president right now is urging allies in deterring Putin's invasion. He is saying that he doesn't want the allies to wait to start any sanctions. They should do it now before he invades. He believes that doing it after is going to be a moot point because he's already invaded. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get your take on this Ukraine deal here. And I want to ask you, how far do you think this will go? Here we go. Make sure you guys share.
I'm Nancy Cordes in New York. Adriana Diaz is off. Tonight, there are troubling new signs that Russia is on the verge of invading its neighbor Ukraine, putting all of Europe on edge. Russian President Vladimir Putin was seen observing a series of nuclear drills today and a mock battle. It happened just north of the Ukrainian border, and it involved warplanes, tanks, and rocket launchers. U.S. officials say up to 190,000 Russian troops are now amassed along the Ukrainian border, with new deployments in Crimea, Belarus, and near eastern Ukraine. On the front lines, there was an uptick in shelling today. Ukraine's military said 2 soldiers were killed. Russian separatist leaders in eastern Ukraine ordered the evacuation of women and children, and thousands have already fled. At a security conference in Munich, Germany today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky begged the West to impose stiff sanctions now. Zelensky met with Vice President Kamala Harris, who called this a decisive moment in history one day after President Biden said he is now convinced Putin does intend to attack. CBS's Christina Ruffini was there for all of it. She is in Munich and joins us now. Christina, good evening.
Good evening, Nancy. Well, it's crunch time, and everyone here this weekend knows it. One last shot at diplomacy, if diplomacy even still has a shot.
We're not really living in delusion. We understand what can happen tomorrow.
Taking center stage at the Munich Security Conference, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told a ballroom packed with diplomats and government officials that his country cannot afford to panic.
Putting ourselves in coffins and waiting for foreign soldiers to come in is not something we are prepared to do.
Zelensky's visit to Munich was short, with many Western allies privately advising him not to risk leaving Ukraine.
Welcome. I am looking forward to our conversation.
But Zelensky said he wanted to make his case himself, in person, pressing the U.S. and European allies to sanction Russia now before it's too late.
And we are being told that you have several days and then the war will start. And I said, okay, then apply the sanctions today.
We have prepared together economic measures that will be swift, severe, and united.
Speaking earlier in the day, Vice President Harris said the U.S. and its allies are prepared to impose significant and unprecedented sanctions if Russia further invades Ukraine.
National borders should not be changed by force.
And Christina is back with us now. Christina, is there any sign that the U.S. might be willing to impose those sanctions now?
So, Anthony Allen, Zelensky went to Munich, Germany to state his case for sanctions against Russia. Kamala Harris was there, which is kind of weird. Something of this magnitude, why wouldn't Joe Biden be there? It's kind of weird, right? Since he claims to, be in that position, you would think that the head of state would be there to speak to another head of state. You wouldn't send a VP to do something like that. That's kind of weird. But besides that, Anthony Allen, Ukraine has a problem. And the problem is NATO ain't going to be able to save them. Russia right now is in position. One thing they don't want is NATO soldiers in their region. They don't want it at all. Now, Ukraine can stage all this off by saying no to NATO. They can remain sovereign. They can, keep their borders and everything if they say no. But as soon as they say yes, they bring all these other foreign powers into their region, which they don't want. And the reason why they don't want it is because once they come, they end up doing a lot more, and a lot of people don't speak about that. And Anthony Allen as well, they also are at, NATO's their enemy because of the annex of Crimea. So there's a lot of stuff that is going on around here. But the biggest issue, I believe, and the biggest takeaway, and Elaine Gertsen has the sentiment of most people in this country: stay out of it. We should only worry about America first. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good point. And Elaine Gertsen is, right on top of this thing. There is no reason for clown Kamala Harris to be there in Ukraine. She's not good at anything. Her poll numbers are so low that they want to bolster her up. They want to give her some gravitas because she's a do-nothing. She's a talking head. I was watching how she walked out there on the stage, and she wanted to stand like a man. Yep. She wanted to show some kind of aggression. and I was listening to her speech. She doesn't even sound like she knows what she's talking about. She sounds like someone that had a speech written for her to make her sound tough, and that's all she's doing. You know, Putin is in a very, very difficult situation, and he's playing his cards correctly. He does not want NATO troops on his border. Okay, and the only way to do that is to have the Ukraine back down from joining NATO. Okay, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but Putin is not playing around.
Nope.
The other thing too is Putin is gambling with the fact that the American people will not want to have an American soldier guarding and protecting the border of another country when our southern border is wide open. Who in the world would send American troops when we have 2 million illegal aliens have crossed our border? Every day, thousands of illegals come across our own border, and we're going to send American troops to Ukraine? No way.
No way.
So, Biden is outclassed. Okay. Now, this situation wouldn't be here if Trump was president.
There you go.
Okay. We didn't have any of this situation. But with the weak Biden, with this horrible withdrawal from Afghanistan, with this affirmative action general, Austin Lloyd, and this feckless Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, they see weakness, and they're going to exploit that weakness. And so we don't know what's going to happen, but everything is poised in favor of Putin to say, you know what? If we had NATO troops, we're going to do something about it. Putin is not going to be bluffing. He's not bluffing at all. We're bluffing because we say we're going to have sanctions, strong sanctions. So what? They got guns and tanks and missiles, and we have sanctions. No, Putin is not bluffing.
No, he's not bluffing at all, Anthony Allen. Not one bit. He's ready to go to war. And the thing is, he got enough reserve. He has the will to do it. If sanctions come, it's not going to really affect his country too much. There's already sanctions on Russia since they've had this, Crimea mess. And they thought those sanctions would help. I mean, it hasn't helped at all. We're still speaking about Russia. I want folks to understand that. And part of the sanction was, getting rid of a lot of, freezing assets and bank accounts of a lot of rich folks in Russia. That's part of a lot of this sanction. Sanctioning, getting rid of a lot of their ambassadors in these NATO countries and all sorts of other dumb stuff that ain't gonna work. It's not at all.
Right.
They're energy independent. They have vast amounts of energy because they invested in natural gas. They're one of the biggest natural gas producers on this side of heaven. So you get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen? We even get some of our natural gas from them. This is how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work. It's really in Putin's hands right now what he wants to do. I don't see America stepping into this, Anthony Allen, for the simple fact is that we had a blunder in Afghanistan. People don't have the stomach right now to go and put an American soldier in Ukraine when our border is crazy like this. Putin waited basically for the right time to do what he wants to do right now because a lot of it is talking. A lot. And you don't hear the U.S. saying, we're going to go after them. We're going to send troops on the. They're talking about economic sanctions. Crippling economic sanctions. You said that last time. And guess what? Putin's right here laughing.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, it is exactly what it is. We have Clown Mala Harris trying to talk tough, okay, trying to stand tough, okay, and she's talking to Putin. Putin's no poodle, okay. He knows how to exert and how to extend power, and that's what he's doing. When you see how he has his forces around that border, he's making a stand. And Biden is feckless, he's weak, and there's not an American, uh, a sane American that wants to have American troops guarding the border of Ukraine when our southern border is wide open.
Absolutely. Doesn't make any sense in the world. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to John Lennon. John Lennon says, if you want to know why people think like they do today, please tell everyone to look up Yuri Bezmenov right on YouTube. He was a KGB. Absolutely. We'll definitely look him up. Anthony Allen, buddy, pal, let me tell you something. That is the end of our show for today. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming out here, hanging out with us. We're ending a little bit early because I have a previous engagement to get to. So next week we'll have the full time here. And I appreciate everybody for coming on and hanging out with us, hitting that like button and donating. Anthony Allen, any last words for our beautiful crowd before we depart here, sir?
Yeah, I do want to thank Leanne for donations, and Christine and Greg. Thank you very, very much. My last words, has to do with us as conservatives, us sticking together, not forming the circular firing squad. We have the upcoming elections, 2022 this year, midterm, and the 2024, and we need to focus and stay focused and don't fall for the okie doke. They want us to trip and fall, and we can't do that. We have to stay on our feet, facing the enemy, facing the liberals, facing the Democrats. Now, the Republicans and conservatives, we're going to say and do things that we may not agree with, but our enemy is the Democrats, okay?
Absolutely.
And the liberals. That's what we have to be careful about. Let's don't just get all wanky about, someone, making a misspeak or misstep. Just stay focused, because we're going to win this one. It's going to be big.
Absolutely. That's what it comes down to. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming out here and hanging out with us. I will be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you come and hang out with your boy. All right? Absolutely. So without further ado, you guys take care. Have a very, very beautiful night, and I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care. Love you, and good night.